let's talk about the most difficult part of a trial, at least for a criminal defense attorney, and that is deliberations, waiting on the jury to bring back a verdict. My hands start to sweat. I get nervous. I'm not going to say I never get nervous during a trial, but that is the point in time where I'm the most nervous because the case is completely out of my hands. And what
I
about
will
you?
say, I joke with my friends that are trial lawyers that anyone that is not nervous or enjoys waiting on a jury is a psychopath, is the most nerve wracking time. And so, what that means and the impact in cases like mine is that if your client goes down on a second degree charge and certain persons in unlawful possession of a handgun are both second degree charges, such that if my client is found guilty of possession of the gun, there's a very, very good chance that he's going to go in custody the minute the jury pronounces the verdict. And everyone knew that. It's part of what you have to, inform your client of, when you're speaking with them about what happens in the trial. And so my client knew about it. And everyone, including myself, was just assuming, oh, it's going to be a quick verdict. They're going to come back and convict my client just because of the DNA evidence. And I had childcare issues. I got two young kids. So I had to go pick up my kids a little early that day. And so my only goal was to get my client to the weekend so he would have one more weekend before, the verdict was pronounced the following week. And so I remember we close, the judge reads the charge, and the jury goes back to deliberate. And, like a lot of other places, they'll send notes when they either, have a question, they need read back, or pretty much anything. That's how they communicate, is through a note. And we got a note within like 5-10 minutes of the jury being back there. And it was that they wanted read back of testimony. And it was of the DNA technician that swabbed the gun and the bullets. And so when I heard that, I thought, oh, that means my client's going home for the weekend. He gets one more weekend before he, potentially has to deal with the verdict the following week. And so we were pumped about that. And so he got to spend, some additional time with his son. And so then we came back the following week, and literally within an hour of the jury basically hearing the testimony of the technician who swabbed the gun and the bullets, they came back with a verdict. Literally an hour. Basically, it turned out to be about an hour of deliberations in total.